I got a phone call one evening.
Random phone call.
Yeah, no one actually believes me. So I think it was last October. Sam had taken Ned out and I was just at home on my own. It was sort of late and I'd switched off for the day. And then my work phone rang and it was like an American code. And initially I thought, oh, it's going to be rubbish.
Yeah.
And a girl said that she was planning her sister's wedding at the Wilderness Reserve. Straight away, it was like, Wilderness Reserve, wow, like that's the thing everyone wants to work out.
Yeah.
So that's what I was initially thinking. So I was explaining that we specialise in weddings and whatnot. And then I was trying to make some notes, but I'd put everything away for the day. Yeah. So I was just sort of scrambling around the house trying to find a pen. And it was like every pen had just vanished off the earth. And then towards the end of the phone call, she said, my name is Millie Bobby Brown. And her voice matched what I knew her voice to be.
Okay.
So that was that. And then Sam came home from walking Ned and obviously went to tell him and he just didn't believe me. You know, this could have been anyone. It's just a phone call. But I really knew that was her voice.
Yeah.
Which I was the only person who'd heard that. Sam was looking at me like, you are wasting your time. Like, I can't believe I was working like day and night on it. That you're putting this much effort into like this prank phone call. And I was like, but you just don't know.
No, you
but
don't.
I'm a real optimist.
Yeah.
So
same.
That in me was like, but it could be.
Yeah.
You know, someone has always got to get that job. So if it wasn't me, it was going to be someone else. Like.
So, welcome to the Small Business Podcast for small businesses. And today we've got Sophie from Berries and Basil on, which we have had Sophie before, who is a floral designer and she has evolved to specialise in weddings. So we are here to dive right in and talk about the wedding, but let's just have a little bit about your business and what you tell us about Berries and Basil.
So I started, I think, 4 years ago, 4 or 5. It's hazy because of lockdowns, but started specialising in weddings at the start of last year. But then this year has been a bit exceptional, especially the last few weeks. So yeah, it started off, I suppose, as a small business, but it doesn't feel so small now. So I'm trying to get away from the small word a bit. Definitely like the local business.
Yeah.
But yeah, not the.
So how would you define a small business?
I would define it as maybe someone working on their own.
Yeah.
And that's a really good question.
Because I've been corrected on this.
Okay, interesting.
So I did, when I was first starting out 10 years ago, I was asked to do a presentation at a meeting. And I said for small, I look after small businesses, and I'd make it. Anyway, the people, they asked for my presentation before I did it, which I don't get anymore, but okay. So I sent it and they're like, yeah, you can't say it's for small businesses. You are micro or macro businesses.
Oh.
And I went, oh, okay. So it's quite corporate terminology. And to me, when I say small business, so I think because we're up for like small business awards, I kind of just, I can't define it. So I asked you that, but I wouldn't have an answer for that either, because I don't know how I would define a small business.
I think for me, it's always been used as a negative. From my experience, like I've had people say to me, I hope your small business does well. It's been a bit condescending, I found. So my thought process is that this doesn't feel small to me. Like to me, this is my everything. Like financially, it hasn't been small. The effort isn't small. The hours aren't small. Like I can't see anything small about this. So I think that's where I struggle when someone calls it a small business. I think, well, oh, like what is small? What's the small thing? Is it me? I don't I don't know. What are you looking at?
Because it's interesting. So I take it as a compliment.
Oh,
I've had people say, oh, you're quite a big business now.
Oh, I'd prefer that.
And I'm like, oh, I don't know how I feel about that, because I'm like, oh, not a big business. I think that suddenly commits me to something, or people assume a lot more. Because I've had people almost assume and go, oh, you're this huge business and you're making loads of money. And I'm like, oh, I've got 50 quid in my account. Like, no. And it's, so I struggle with that, because they're like, oh, you've got a big team and it's really big now. And I think, but part of the issue is, so LinkedIn as a classic example, I have a lot of business coaches approach me on LinkedIn to ask if they want to take me, or I want to work with them. The minimum is £2,000 a month. And I'm like,
because you look bigger than you are.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't have £2,000 a month. And also, I think I'm doing all right because you think I'm huge. But that is, and I always say that's not my own fault, that's the wrong word, but I'm guilty of that because of what we put out across social media.
Yeah.
And it feels like we're everywhere and we've always got stuff for consistency, but I teach social media. So it'd be weird if it's like, oh, you haven't posted for a month. So I struggle with the word big.
I've always wanted to be big. Yeah. So I think when someone then says you're a small business, I'm like, oh, I haven't made it yet.
Interesting.
Because I've always wanted to go big.
Yeah.
I remember we went to a party, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and I took a little basket as a present, like a flower basket. And someone there asked me, they were like, how big do you want to go? And I joked and was like Buckingham Palace, but I wasn't joking. I always knew you could go big with Floristry if you needed to and you did the right things. You can go big. So I suppose I just find it a bit condescending because I don't want to be small. Yeah. I've always wanted to go big.
That's funny, isn't it?
Yeah. But some people, if people want to be small, that is fine. Yeah. Like some people just want to do a few little events a year and whatnot, whatever side hustle. But for me, I don't want that.
So it's quite personal.
I think that's it. I think it like hits the nerve. Yeah. And it's hard because it's hard not to take it personally. Yeah. And it's everything you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny, isn't it? So it's interesting though, because since we've changed, definition of small business, because since we've changed the name of this podcast to the Small Business Podcast.
Is that what it's called? How ironic.
Because before it was Business Unicorns and Rainbows, because that's how I am. I'm like, my brain is just all positivity, it's Business Unicorns, and I just wanted something a bit different. Our listens, views, however you worded it, have quadrupled. Just by changing it to the Small Business
That's
Podcast.
What people are searching.
Yeah. So it's a search term.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know.
I haven't got an internet to search it.
So, welcome to the Small Business Podcast.
Oh, brilliant.
Now, today, we have our first repeat interview.
I didn't know that.
Well, we discussed coming on the podcast to talk about your latest wedding, basically. Yeah. So, welcome back.
Thank you.
And it'll be interesting, actually. We should have re-listened to the last one before to go, what did we say?
It was June last year.
Yeah.
So it's not actually that long ago.
No. But how much has changed?
Yeah, a lot.
So shall we dive into it? Whose wedding you just done,
So it's more who it was planned by, which is the wow. So I was working with Millie Bobby Brown to plan her sister's wedding.
Can you explain? So just for my listeners so Sophie obviously had to sign an NDA. Is that right? You signed an NDA or agreed an NDA to working with such a person. So couldn't tell us for ages, and we're like, oh, I wonder who it is. Yeah, she told me. I'm like, Sophie, I don't know who that is. Yeah. But even my husband was like, how do you not know who that is? And then he went, she's been in such and such a film. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
So she's an actress, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So she was in, I don't know if Liam watches it, in Stranger Things. Yeah. I'm not actually I haven't watched it myself, which is unbelievable, but I knew her more from like social media and influencing and just I think like a lot of girls my age.
I was going to say,
she's like the one, yeah.
Your age is my age.
So, no, sorry. Just insulted.
Yeah. No, it's fine, I'm 25, so don't tell anyone. So so how did that come about?
I got a phone call. One evening.
Random phone call.
Yeah, no one actually believes me. So it was I think it was last October. I remember it really well. It was a really dark evening. Sam had taken Ned out and I was just at home on my own. I reckon it was about 8 p.m. It was sort of late and I'd switched off for the day. And then my work phone rang and it was like an American code. And initially I thought, it's going to be rubbish.
Yeah.
Then I remembered that...
Scam all day long.
Exactly. I had a really good client in America who used to buy big gift bouquets for her sister here.
Oh, okay.
Really, really nice client. So I was thinking, it's going to be her. I'll answer. We sort of know each other through family, friends and whatnot. So I thought it was her. So I was willing to answer the phone. And a girl said that she was planning her sister's wedding at the Wilderness Reserve. Straight away, I was like, Wilderness Reserve, wow, like that's the thing everyone wants to work out.
Yeah.
So that's what I was initially thinking. So I was explaining that we specialise in weddings and whatnot. And then I was trying to make some notes, but I'd put everything away for the day. Yeah. So I was just sort of scrambling around the house trying to find a pen, and it was like every pen had just vanished off the air. And then towards the end of the phone call, she said, my name is Millie Bobby Brown, and I just got married in Italy, which I did know about. With getting married in Italy myself, I sort of, that had sort of cropped up. And her voice matched what I knew her voice to be.
Okay.
So I'd watched Enola Holmes, which she was in and produced with her sister Paige, more because Hannah Dodd, who we went to school with, was in it. So I actually watched it because Hannah was in it.
Yeah.
And then Millie was in it as well.
Yeah.
So,
Sudbury's not that small, really.
We got some big people coming out of Sudbury. So that was that. And then Sam came home from Walking Dead, and obviously I went to tell him, and he just didn't believe me. This is when I was getting a little bit of stick from Florist in the area online as well. So he was like, you know, this could have been anyone. It's just a phone call one. But I really knew that was her voice. Yeah. Which I was the only person who'd heard that. Yeah. She then sent me some documents that her and Paige had been going through, of sort of like colours and that kind of thing, like a sort of mood board. And I spent 2 days pulling it together and doing some options for them of what would work. Sam was looking at me like, you are wasting your time. Like, I can't believe I was working like day and night on it, that you're putting this much effort into like this prank phone call. And I was like, but you just don't know.
No, you
don't.
I'm
a real optimist.
Yeah.
So
same.
That in me was like, but it could be. You know, someone has always got to get that job. So if it wasn't me, it was going to be someone else. Like,
and it's quite a long-winded prank to call from an American number and have that, and that's quite a level of detail that my sister's got married or getting married.
Yeah. So I went with it, and I then got to a point where I got stuck with the planning process because I hadn't done the venue before. So they roughly knew what they wanted in terms of like, we want 10 urns, we want meadows and arch, all of this kind of thing. But that's really hard to cost up without going to the venue. Like, how long is the aisle? You know, and the aisle can be 10 metres or it can be 40 metres. Yeah. Or, well, it can go on and on and on as well. Yeah. So that makes a massive difference to the cost and my work involved. So I organised a site visit with the venue. They couldn't get us into the start of December. So then there was this sort of horrible 6 weeks where I'm thinking, I really want to get there and get this sort of secured, but I can't do anything. And I do understand, because they can't just have anyone going into that venue at any point. Like, obviously it was booked or whatever. So I then did go for the site visit in December. I picked up Rosie, who freelances for me a lot on the way, and we went there. Millie asked as well if we could take photos and videos of the venue for her.
Oh, okay.
Because they hadn't been yet.
So they booked the venue purely on social media website. I mean, don't get me wrong, Wilderness is wow. I've never been there, but it's wow. So
yeah, I think it was recommendation from what I've since heard. Yeah. From another wedding planner that got involved further down the line. But yeah, so we went, but it's very different to a normal venue. So with like a normal venue around here, they'd be like, this is the ceremony room and this is where you email. Whereas Wilderness, you can do anything you want. Yeah. So, like, you can have a marquee put up, you can have your aisle outside, you can have your aisle in the orangery, you can have your aisle by the pool. You can basically do whatever you want. Yeah. Because it's so big. Yeah, and you'd have the whole estate often. Yeah. So you can do what you want. So, went back and then did some more work, still not knowing if I'd got the booking. And then I remember we were going to New York at the start of December, and it was getting quite a lot because of the time difference. Wherever Millie was in the world, she'd message me sort of late at night, sort of at 11, 12 p.m. and not this kind of client you want to reply to straight away. But then I was sort of up a lot, just wanting to secure it. So anyway, we're going to New York, and I basically just said, do you want to book? Because we needed to book accommodation. If I did it, I knew I had to buy a lot of stuff I didn't currently have. I needed to sort out freelancers. Good freelancers go quickly. Yeah. So yeah, and then they said we want to book, and then
wow. And in Wedding World, that was, where are we? August. So we're talking 9 months,
which is
beforehand. That's not long.
No, it's getting, the timelines are getting shorter and shorter. Actually, that's like a new thing. People are booking later on, which is harder for suppliers.
Well, that's the thing. I think it's important to point out, and this is with all businesses really, and especially when you're paying for a quality business, of the timelines of, like you say, the planning, the mood boards, the knowing how many it was hydrangeas, wasn't it? Yeah, how many hydrangeas you need. Like the level of detail for that isn't just oh, we can turn that round in. It's not but a bouquet of flowers. Here you go.
No, it's all in the planning, actually. Like when we got there on the week, I was chilled because my job was done. Like my job is the planning. So yeah, and it was hard because people would be like, what are you up to? Can you like do this today, do that? Because when you're self-employed, people don't often think you work, especially when you work in the wedding industry. Unless I have a wedding on that week, they don't believe I have anything else to do.
And you only work Saturdays anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, just Saturday morning, So it was hard because in like January, February, March, I was having meetings with like the top suppliers, and these aren't top Suffolk suppliers, these are the top world suppliers, like top of the game. And I didn't tell anyone, so that was quite hard because people are like, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, I am working, but so it's never nice to be able to tell people. It's just it hasn't felt real.
No,
well, I don't think it will ever feel real.
No. So how did it feel on the day?
On the wedding day?
Yeah. Well, it was 3. Was it 3? 2 days? 3?
So we did flowers for 3 days.
Yeah.
Which is quite normal for that sort of scale. And it's more of a European thing, I think, to have like the rehearsal dinner the night before with close friends and family and a wedding day, and then the sort of after party. We were there all week. Yeah. So we were up there Monday to Monday. Wow. So it's a bit of a whirlwind because like Sam and I were working through the nights as well, taking down on Friday nights and Saturday nights. So the timeline in my head is a bit scrambled.
So you basically didn't sleep for 3 days?
No.
No.
No. But I was running on adrenaline.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was just like so excited to be there. So we first went on site, so to the wilderness on the Friday lunchtime. And we were there from Friday lunchtime probably through till, I don't even know, 7 p.m. that day. And then went back to the house to finish off more. We were doing really long days. But weddings are long days. And then Saturday we were on site from about 7:30 through to lunchtime, and then everyone else went back for a break and I stayed on site on my own. And then we had to move things at 4:30, so we were done about 5ish.
Yeah.
Then Sam and I went back at night to strip down, and then Sunday we were on site again to set up they had like a pool party. Yeah. So we did like a sort of farmers market, the one I sent you, the bouquets for that. We weren't on site that long that day, maybe like 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah. But how did it, so how, on the planning process, like, what's involved? Because most people will assume, and we know what we all say about assume, that it's, well, okay, this is how long the aisle is, this is how many flowers we need, this, we order the flowers will come in on this day, and what's when you say working with different suppliers and obviously working with the venue, like what's involved, like who do you...
So we have a really good rep with our current supplier, so that helps because once your order's in, the responsibility is with them. So once that order's done, the stress sort of goes. And then in terms of working out the numbers, well, it's quite simple because you just work it out sort of per metre.
Okay.
So, like everything, the meadows that we made, so they were what was down either side of the aisle. Yeah. Were done in metre trays. So,
but how much sign off did that go back to Millie and Paige, or were you given a bit of a free for all of that? Okay, we want this, and this, but here's the colours, here's the flower, but
so
they choose.
It was a little bit different. So normally you'd cost up a wedding, whereas with this we agreed on price.
Okay.
And then you do as much as you can for that price. So that's what you do when it's large scale. Yeah. But I knew that wedding, I just had to put my all into it. Yeah. So originally I was thinking of like the odd meadow here, the odd meadow there. And then I saw the table plan and the kind of people that were going. And I was like, right, I think we're going to have to go all out. I've been given this opportunity. Got to take it and run with it. So, we did go all out, which...
Yeah. And I think it's important to note that they paid you for this. This wasn't an influencer special that you can do it, because I don't think a star of that size would do it anyway, but there is a lot of feeling in the industry that you get contacted and you're like, especially for photographers, oh, can you come and do this? You'll get exposure for it, sort of thing. This was a genuine inquiry, as if I would call up to get married. This wasn't a like, oh, by the way, you could get to work at the wilderness. It was a
paid job. Yeah, completely. I wouldn't do it for free. You couldn't do that. Well, you'd lose a lot of money because like the cost price of the flowers is extortionate, and the labour and the house and the vans. So yeah, it was a paid job. I think when you first do your next big one, you just won't make as much money as you think, because there's a lot of things I didn't already have.
Yeah.
So like a lot of the profits have to go back into ladders that we had 1 or 2 ladders. We now need a lot more. And the pillars and urns, I had to buy 10 of them, the arch kit. So there's a lot I didn't already have, but I needed.
Yeah.
So I've now got it. So that's fine. And it's stuff I'll use. But yeah, that always happens with your next biggest one. Like I remember that happening last August. We had one where we had 2 archers, so we needed a lot of stuff for that we didn't already have. But that's all positive. And yeah, it was a paid job. Yeah,
I've just got visions in my head of like your front room just now surrounded in urns and arches.
yeah, the arch kits at my parents.
Where do we store all of these things? But how easy was it to upscale in that manner? Because this was quite a big difference in terms of scale, not only just the venue, but in terms of volume and, like you say, 3 days. So that's 3 different. There's the table, there's the aisle, there's the party, it's everything else. How was that easy just to scale up for you in terms of the business, or was that quite a stress, shall we say, in terms of? Because I'm guessing, like you say, you
was waiting for it. Like, this is what you wait for.
Yeah.
So I was just like, let's go. Like, people can do this career for 50 years and never get that job. Like, obviously there's a lot of worry, but then the last few weeks I was like, I've been asked to do this for a reason. I just have to run with it and do it.
Yeah. And did you ask like how they found you, or?
No, so I have some theories.
Oh, okay.
Because I know I got the phone call, but they must have found me somewhere to ring.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have about 5 theories.
Okay.
But I haven't been told, so I don't know. Do you want to know them?
Yeah.
I wrote them down earlier because I knew you were going to ask me that. So Millie told me on the phone that they were looking for a local business. Yeah. So we can take that.
That narrows it down to Suffolk.
One thing.
Yeah.
I think that they might have liked that I am young for what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because they're young, successful girls.
Yeah.
So where a lot of people won't trust someone younger, not that I'm nearly 30 now, but, young for what I'm doing.
Yeah.
They did put their trust in me because they would want to be trusted in their jobs, even though they're young. So that could be one thing. Yeah. The terminology that I use. So like my website is .com, my email is .com, and if they were looking for America, I don't know if that might have had a difference. Obviously, the term floral designer has come over from America, and that's what I use rather than florist. And I think it sums up more what we do. I think people think of a florist as someone who just sells flowers from a little shop. Not that there's anything wrong with that, from a little shop. Yeah. Whereas floral designer is more you go into a venue and you're like, what can we do with it?
You are designing the venue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a few ideas, but I'll
keep them.
Yeah, there's some I can't say because I can't give away everything.
Yeah. So when you say they trusted you, so going back to did they work with you in terms of the colour scheme or types of flowers, or did you have a bit more free range on that? Were they like gleaning from your knowledge? Or?
I had their mood board, which was clearly blue hydrangeas was the main thing with whites in there. So I ran with that. And like every client has a mood board from me, they had one, but it was more like pages.
Yeah, driven by them. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot because we had sort of the greens for the rehearsal dinner and the blues for the wedding day. And yeah. So they sort of sign that off, really. Just say yes or no.
Yeah.
But they were very easy on me, I have to say. Like,
Yeah.
there was a point on site on the Friday when the table runners were meant to go in the market. That the plan was they were going on in the afternoon, and we were there with the table runners, and it was just too hot in there.
Yeah.
So I spoke to Millie and I just said, look, I'm not really happy to put them in there at the moment. Like, I'd much rather do it in the morning. She was like, what will happen to them? And I was like, they will die. Like, they will die. And she was like, no, do them in the morning then.
Yeah.
They were so reasonable.
Yeah.
So that was great.
But I think that's part of being honest and upfront with people, because I think that's really important to know this is your work. So everything is a reflection of what you do. So if someone's like, no, you need to move that to there, and you're like, I know that's going to die and look crap. It's like, those photos aren't just going to be for close friends and family. So they don't want the photos to look like people to pick out any issues. So it's a different scale. No one wants that on their wedding day anyway. But the fact that they can take in and you can be honest and go, no, this will happen, that's a massive trust in judgment, which is such a compliment to like have that, no, this is what will happen. Okay, do what you need to do.
And a wedding of that scale is like a production.
Yeah.
And they're a production family.
Yeah.
So they are used to lots of suppliers coming in and out and these little things coming up.
Yeah.
Not that it was major. It was just that was, the quality of the flowers is always our number one concern.
Yeah.
So I had to speak to her about that. But yeah, that was fine. So we were lucky that we'd like won our first one this big.
Yeah.
That we had people that were so lenient with us.
Yeah, I can imagine that you can have quite the opposite when someone's spending like that level of like that wow factor of that aisle and the arch at the end, for someone to put their trust in you to know that's going to get that wow factor is a massive deal. And there's a lot of people out there that will just be so stressy and wobbly about it, but I think that's a sort of a testament to obviously either how she found you or looking at your work online, looking at your imagery, just all of that. And I think I'd be interested, and I don't, because you can't look back now, to who was looking at your stories way back when in like August, September, October last year, because I wonder if someone had picked up and was putting, because it's you on your stories, straight away for someone to feel confident to pick up the phone to you and have that conversation. Yeah, it's quite
and like we obviously you have like I don't just get a booking and see them on the day. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. So we were having like FaceTimes and stuff. So like when I turned up on the day, they like knew who I was, I knew who they were, and also I don't normally get that involved with the other suppliers because I don't need to, but for this one I was.
Yeah.
So like I was mostly in group chats with furniture and tableware because we all have to slot in around each other.
Yeah.
So I was working with them as well. And loads of planners. I've never known so many planners because Millie was planning and then she brought in Camilla who planned hers in Italy, and then Camilla has an assistant. Okay. And then you've also got Tori at the venue.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So there was a lot of planners.
Yeah. And did that work well? Because it's it must be difficult because everyone's got their own, especially like you say for tableware, for example. Your thing is the flowers on the table, whereas the tableware people be table and furniture and that. Does that work well when everyone kind of works together? Because everyone wants the same aim for everyone to have an absolutely amazing day and the table to look absolutely amazing. So I would hope that it would be.
Yeah, it's quite exciting because everyone's got really nice products. And then when you see it all come together, that is really fun. Like for us, it's more like sizing.
Yeah. So like
how big are the tables and how many can we get on? Because if you get that wrong and you turn up and everything's the wrong size, well, you're screwed.
Yeah.
So measurements is like the main thing that we need to know.
Yeah, definitely.
And then not making things like too big or too small, getting the scale right. But until you go into the marquee, like the marquee wasn't built to the Friday. Well, our tables were made on Thursday. Yeah. So how tall is the marquee? It's quite hard to know until you're in there and things like that. And there were chandeliers going up in the marquee. I didn't know they put each like individual diamante thing on there.
Oh, what, on the chandeliers?
It was so wild
because they because they all sit, don't they? And because they have to hang right. And can't like just bunch.
Yeah, it was just like the weirdest holiday ever because we were all staying together as well.
Yeah.
So it was, a bit mad.
And did everything go right on the days, the week you were there? Did everything go to plan?
Yeah, so the Monday, Sam and I were just moving stuff up there. So we were just doing trips from here up there in the vans. So that was quite a long day, and it's been a lot of heavy lifting. And then the Tuesday...
So you know the A12 quite well now then.
Yeah, but we also found some back ways as well. Through that Sproughton way.
Yeah.
And then the Tuesday we got the delivery for the Friday. So that was fine. And then we actually sort of managed to get Tuesday afternoon off.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then the Wednesday the delivery came, so that was hectic. And Rosie and Gunda joined on Wednesday. And then, Thursday was making. Lucy and Isabel then joined as well. And then the Friday when we were on site, Susie joined for the Friday and the Saturday. And then everyone was there on Saturday. Some people only stayed till Saturday and some stayed till Sunday. So, yeah.
And how was it on the day? Because obviously you said it was just you stayed behind and stuff on the day. So how was that? Because it's kind of almost you're that invisible person, aren't you?
Yeah. So everyone else had gone because we were set up and you want to get out of the way, like you shouldn't be there on the day. So they all went back to the house, and then I stayed because they wanted me to put the buttonholes on. So that wasn't planned, but that's fine. Yeah. I would rather put them on myself and know they're on properly. Yeah. So I had to go to the house and sort them out. It's funny, like no matter what scale of wedding, no one knows how to put buttonholes. Yeah.
Which is just not something unless you do what you do. How often do you do that?
So I stayed to do that for a bit. So I waited till they got their jackets on and whatnot, and they were just about to go to the ceremony. But yeah, you're not watching, like you just like sat in the car, like in the car park. Yeah. And the good thing about like good venues is they have like separate supplier toilets and facilities, which is perfect because you can like use them and you're out the way. Yeah. Because you shouldn't be seen. My uniform's always like dark green, so it's quite good. It's quite.
I was going to say, what did you wear? Because it's like it's the professional thing. It hasn't gone unnoticed that you're in like berry and basil green with flowers on today.
I'm a bit sick of wearing my uniform at the moment. I have my uniform. Yeah. So I have my t-shirts and my dresses, and then everyone else has to wear the apron. Yeah. With the logo on. That's sort of in the freelancer contract that they have to wear that. Yeah. So yeah, everyone else had one of those on, but then they can wear whatever else they want underneath. I wouldn't like to ever tell anyone what other clothes to wear. Yeah. In their agreement, they have to wear like closed-toe shoes and like those things because of safety. But I think as creatives, the worst thing someone can do is like micromanage you. Yeah. Like some of them wore bright dresses, some of them chose to wear black. But yeah, I would never, as long as they're comfortable. Yeah.
It's comfortable and safe, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
One of the girls actually texted me that week and was like, can I wear shorts? And I was like, yeah, because it was boiling. Yeah. It's more important that we're wearing something practical, like if we're up ladders and things. And comfortable. But yeah, as long as you got the apron on, then that's fine.
Yeah. And how did that work with the weather? Was there any like...
Oh. It was hot. So I think we had, of blue hydrangeas, we had 1,340. And that's just one flower.
That's delivered, isn't it?
Yeah, I have got the total figures because I was working that this morning. And you have to condition every single stem. So like this, my thumb, I haven't been able to feel for 3 weeks since conditioning them. Like it's just like fuzzy and numb.
So what does condition mean?
So conditioning is the process you do when your delivery comes in. So you normally do this on a Wednesday, and it normally will take me from about 8 or 9 a.m. to lunchtime. And that is just going through what you've had delivered, checking you've had what you need, taking any like wrapping off, and cutting everything at an angle and stripping the stems down so the leaves aren't in the water. Prior to that, your buckets must be bleached and have fresh water, the right temperature. So it's basically to prolong the life of the flowers. It's non-negotiable, really. You have to do it. It's the job no one likes doing. It's a bit like the wife experience job. Yeah, like no one likes doing it, but it's just part of it. Yeah, like that's when I'll normally put a podcast on or something because it is really dull. Yeah, but it just has to be done. Yeah. So,
and if it's not, the flowers won't last.
Or I don't know because I've never not done it.
Okay.
I wouldn't risk not doing it. So they're just going to last longer and the better. Yeah, they've got to, because there's no bacteria in the water because you've bleached your bucket. You're just giving them the best chance, basically, which you have to for this sort of scale. And well, any wedding really. I do it for all weddings. I do it for all work, really. Any professional florist should be doing that.
Yeah.
So that's what we did on the Wednesday. But there was so many to get through. So we were doing it in the garden, then taking one bucket at a time into the house. But it was getting quite hot because the delivery was in the morning, but it was lunchtime and we were still doing it. So normally you'd be finishing off, but we were doing it till 8 p.m.
Wow.
But you would with that quantity.
Yeah.
And Rosie and Gunda were doing other bits as well. Gunda was doing footed bowls for the rehearsal dinner, and they were doing urns as well. But Sam and I were just conditioning all day. So that was a bit stressful because the sun was coming out and I could see the sun on the hydrangeas, and I knew I still had like 500 to do. It was crazy. So the heat was a worry because that's worst case scenario, is that it's that hot. We managed to keep the house really cool because we've been there since Monday. We'd had all the windows open. And we're quite used to like monitoring that, like all the blinds and curtains are closed. And the good thing about hydrangeas, we were quite lucky, is because they drink through their heads. They obviously do drink through their stems, but most through their heads, we can spritz them.
Oh, okay.
So we were just going around like every couple of hours. Has anyone spritzed them? Like, I'm going to spritz them. And like, you'd hear the girls just doing it because they're so good. And they were actually in like the bedrooms because they were everywhere in the house. So we were literally going to bed spritzing them, waking up spritzing them. And the good thing about staying in the house with the flowers is we were keeping an eye on them. Had anything gone over, someone would have noticed. So we were just literally just spritzing. But a lot of people have asked me how we keep them alive. And it does make me wonder what they think we do. Because that is like our job.
Yeah.
I mean? So that has made me laugh.
But also as well, flowers don't, it's like if you get given what I call a cheap garage bouquet, you don't get them home, put them in water, and the next morning they're dead. Like,
no, you see them going over, so you can hold them back. And like, we have toolboxes of all kinds of stuff. Like, we know the tricks we need to do. Whether the heads are going and we can wire them up a little bit. But yeah, we were actually quite lucky. It was hydrangeas. Lucky and unlucky. Hydrangeas mostly don't like the sunlight.
Okay.
It's more the sunlight than the heat.
Okay.
And then we had roses and delphiniums and spray roses. What else did we have? We had loads of stuff for the rehearsal dinner as well. Quite a mixture there.
Was that the green? The love green.
The green.
Table?
Yeah. So a different style actually, 2 days, which is nice to show 2 different styles.
Yeah.
The rehearsal dinner was more like whimsical.
Yeah.
Whereas the wedding day was just like, wow.
Yeah. It's proper showstopper.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. That was my aim. So yeah, glad you said that.
Yeah. No, it was a proper like, wow. And I think it's the blues against the white as well. Yeah. And it's not a normal wedding colour. Blue is not a normal.
And the blues look so vibrant because they were the best in the world.
Yeah.
So they often aren't that blue. You know, you pay for that blue.
Yeah.
But like my rep was right. Like we were going back and forth for weeks doing this order, saying like, you should get this one, you should get this one. I'm like, okay, like trying to make all decisions. And like, hats off to him. He chose the right things. We did it together, but yeah, he needs a lot of credit because he chose absolutely the right things.
Yeah.
Like when I was picking stuff up on the Saturday night and the Sunday, like things were still okay. Yeah, my mum's still got some of the blue hydrangeas now.
Love that your mum's got some.
Oh yeah, yeah. There was just stuff coming back. Like yeah.
Because what do you do with it all?
So a few months before the wedding, Millie said, can you do something for the Sunday as well? And I'm thinking, crikey, I don't know. I've got a lot on my plate here. And I don't think there's going to be any room for any more flowers, and I haven't got any more labour. So I said, and I was concerned about bringing it all back. What were we going to do with it all? So I said to her, well, why don't we wrap up whatever's left from Friday and Saturday? It's obviously still okay. And you can give them out to your guests. So that's what we did. So the Sunday morning, we started about 6 a.m. and started wrapping up. You know, like the bouquets used to do when we did the pop-ups.
Yeah.
Pretty much like that.
Yeah.
It was like a farmer's market vibe.
Yeah.
So we made up a lot of those. All the guests took them home. And then some will have gone over. Like, it was really windy. We had 30-mile-an-hour winds on those meadows. So some of like the delphiniums and stuff, you know, they couldn't be saved, and that wasn't our fault. They were fine for when they needed to be. That's just wedding work. And then like some will get dried. So the stuff that wasn't okay is obviously been composted. The freelancers took like a handful each. There was like the odds and sods at the house, and they were like, I was like, take what you want. I sort of don't want to see them anymore. But yeah, so they've all gone somewhere to be enjoyed still. There probably wasn't as much as you would think. I don't think.
Yeah. So the team on, obviously you had a fantastic team on site and all the freelancers.
Yeah.
We haven't mentioned, or we have mentioned, but indirectly mentioned, that Sam was on site as well.
Yeah.
So was he doing the conditioning because he was the work experience guy, or was he? Because it must have been lovely, you guys getting married this year and then having him on.
We've had a busy
wedding.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how. So Sam had to take the week off work.
Yeah.
Originally, we were like, oh, he might have to take the Friday, Saturday off and come and join. And then things were getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And I was like, I actually don't know how I'm going to cope with all this lifting and like driving. But I can't drive 2 vans in one time. So yeah, Sam took the week off work and came to help. People are quite surprised by how much he helps me. I think, yeah, like it was interesting because people on site were like, "Oh, so do you work for Sophie?" And he was like, "Well, no, I have like a job. Like I have a proper job. I'm just here this week."
Yeah.
But Sam always does help me on the weekends when he can. Obviously, normally he works like 9 to 5, Monday to Friday with his proper job.
I was going to say, and you do a lot of your work at home as well, so it's kind of there for him to see. And
he picks things up. Yeah, like he knows what his favourite flower is and stuff like that. And he always greens up like the signing table pieces when we deliver on a Saturday, so I can do like the bridal bouquet and take that in, and he's got something to do. But yeah, I'm quite surprised by. People will be like, oh, you're so lucky to have him help you, which I am. And I never want to it seem like I don't appreciate that. But I also think that that's just how Sam and I are. If one of us wants to do something, we do it together. Yeah. So I find that quite hard when people say that, because I think, well, that's how he should be. Yeah. You know, and
well, that's your relationship. That's what
Sam, in a way, has pushed this more than me. At times when I've doubted it, he's always like, it is going to work. Yeah, you just got to keep going and keep going. At times when I have been like, oh, this is a lot, you know, like, so yeah, I am lucky to have his help. But Sam and I have always been a team. I've been with Sam since I was 16, so we've always figured things out together. Like, I didn't have a job when I met him. I didn't drive a car. Like, there's a lot we've done together, so this is no different, really.
Yeah, and I think that's part of your relationship. You work and support each other in the amount of it. And I think, especially when it's your own business and you work for yourself, it is not 9 to 5. I mean, it's not. I mean, your stories go up at like 2 a.m. It's clearly not 9 to 5. But it's with any business, it is 24/7. And when people are like, oh, it's great, you can walk your dog at 10 a.m. Oh, clearly you can come for, like you said, people will ask you and think, you assume you're not working all the time. Well, no, actually, that wedding being an exception, but a normal wedding, the fact that you're getting out of bed at 3-4 a.m. to go down, that's a big ask for a partner who just, if they weren't, and he was the complete opposite of how he is, it wouldn't work. It just wouldn't. Yeah. It'd be resented, because it'd be like, oh, so that's another Saturday and Sunday gone, sort of thing. It's just
because it's every day, every weekend, especially this time of year.
And I think that's really important. And it does make me wonder if that's when people talk to you, and that's part of obviously you and your business and your business brand, of the subconscious of it, that Sam helps you and you have that support, brings out the confidence anyway, but also you're helping out at weddings when people are forming those partnerships and those relationships as well. So the fact that you've got that, and that loving support, and almost that non-negotiable, it's just he's there to help.
Yeah, I know if I have a wedding, Sam will get up that morning and walk the dog, and I know when I'm working in my workshop, he'll make dinner and bring me dinner to the workshop. Like that's just I just know that he will do that. And there's a lot with running a business where people will go, oh, you're lucky. It's very easy to call someone lucky and you're like, no, I didn't feel lucky at 2 a.m. last week, you know, or, you know, when I'm carrying things that are twice the weight of me, like it doesn't feel, you don't always feel lucky.
But also it's that fact of, you could say, oh, you're lucky Millie Bobby Brown phoned you. Well, okay, we've obviously said how you think you might have got in contact with you, but in addition to that, she will, like I said before, that someone will have been looking at your account and stories, someone will have looked at your website, and that's all you and your brand, that's all your hard work.
Yeah.
And that's not just you've slung some pictures up, that's quite thoughtful, planned definition of like what you can do, what your work looks like, who you work with, where you work, where you're based, and also you. And I think that's, you almost don't, because we're all British and female, we don't give ourselves enough credit of like they've already bought into you. Can you imagine someone like that to just pick up the phone to someone? They wouldn't have just, it's not that they just did a Google Maps and gone, oh, we'll go with the one with the most Google reviews or something like that. There would have been a bit of research behind that.
Yeah, and there was a time between that first phone call and securing the booking where I was doing a lot of work, which people never see because you don't see that unless you are a client of those mood boards, those plans. This is what we could do. These are the flowers you could have. Like, a lot of hours go into that. Yeah. So there's that as well. Like, I did work for that booking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought it paid off.
Yeah.
That hard work paid off. That wasn't luck.
Oh, no.
You're not lucky to do a mood board. It's the hard work that's paid off.
Yeah.
That's really important.
And with Sam helping me, I do wonder if what the comments would be like if I helped Sam with his job.
Yeah.
It does make me wonder, because I think, I don't think it would be so surprising, would it?
No.
Interesting.
No.
But also, you have to have someone who's really confident within themselves.
Yeah.
Like, Sam's very self-assured, and he's, you know, he'll stand back and let me take all the credit at the venue, you know. Like, have you seen him in any of the photos? Maybe one. Like, he'll let me shine when I need to, because he's self-assured. You know, he knows, you know, he's happy with what he does and whatnot, but it's my thing. It's mainly me still.
Yeah. That's awesome. I love that. So, what's the most common questions you've had from people since it's been let out of what you've done and who you've worked with?
People have said, how did she get in contact with you?
Yeah.
And in the first reel I posted, I put like that I got a call from Millie. But it's like people don't believe that, because they're then asking me, and I'm like, I've put it out there. Me, like, why are you asking me? But I don't think people can believe that. And then they're like, I can't believe it. And I'm like, well, no, neither can I.
Yeah. But also, I think people, you've got to remember, celebrities are people too. So I think people almost don't believe that they'll pick up and use a phone. It's like, like, what else are they going to do?
Yeah, I've had that. And on the week, I had a lot of messages, annoying messages. Like, people were like, who is it? And I was like, I can't tell you. I'll announce it as soon as I can. And like, the phone was not stopping. Like, some people were really like annoying.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, is it the Emmerdale couple? Because someone from Emmerdale got married there on the Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, well, I can't say yes or no. Like, I just cannot tell you. You just need to wait and find out when everyone else finds out. But yeah, people were really irritating me. Yeah, because I was trying to work and I was like, stop messaging me.
Yeah. Why were they so... I don't know.
I don't know.
My brain doesn't work that way, so...
And obviously, like, it was mainly a secret because of security. Yeah. Which I totally understand.
Yeah, because I'm guessing it's not
seen
just...
a wild side to it.
Oh, really?
Like, the messages, like, people are like, where's Millie? And I'm like, I don't know where she is. Like, I'm not with her, like, now. You know what?
Really?
Yeah. They're crazy, yeah.
That's mad.
Yeah.
People you know are just random.
No, I don't know who they are. And there's a lot of fan accounts.
Yeah. I've got, that.
Yeah.
God, that's mad, isn't it?
Yeah. Like,
but I'm guessing
tell them where she is. I don't even know.
Bearing in mind who it was, I'm guessing there was quite a guest list in terms of people.
Yeah.
There too.
Yeah. So
obviously too.
Millie's husband's famous.
That's how I found out who Millie was.
Jake Bon Jovi, yeah.
Like, oh.
Yeah, my mum and dad knew more about that, and they did know, but they didn't know who Millie was.
Yeah.
But they've been singing "Living on a Prayer" at me for about 6 months.
Love that.
So I'm glad that that's now stopped. So obviously he was there, and I think I can say like who was pictured, because some people aren't allowed to be the pictures aren't allowed to be shared.
The guests aren't allowed to be.
Yeah, I can't say.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I know,
Okay.
I can tell you Pixie Lot was there
Yeah.
because that's gone online today.
Okay.
And
Is that because the guests, don't worry, I'm not going to ask you who, because I won't know who they are. But is that because the guests don't want to be pictured there, or
all I know is the photographer's given rules.
Yeah.
And the photographer has given me photos that I can share.
Okay.
So I can say who I've seen in those photos.
Yeah.
Rather than what I've seen on the table plan.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I think there's people there that I can't see in the pictures.
Yeah.
So they are good friends with the Wrights from The Only Way is Essex. So a lot of them were there.
Oh.
Natalia shared quite a lot. So I can say that she was there. I don't think anyone else has shared that they were there. I think the parents were there. I think I've seen them in the pictures.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, that's really random. Like, not random, but I suppose it's just a different world, isn't it? At the end of the day,
I think they're just family friends. Yeah.
And it's like, but then I suppose people are quite. Well, I was having this conversation with someone the other day about like business accounts of what people are happy to share, and I was at an event, and it was like a fitness event, when there was someone going around with a camera, and I had taken. It was a really hot day. So I'd taken my t-shirt off. So I was literally in a sports bar and shorts in this fitness event. And I was like, and then I saw this camera appear, and I looked at my friend, and I was like, oh, I better put my t-shirt on. She went, no, I haven't got you. I was like, oh, okay. I obviously then followed everyone to do with this event. There is a video of me that I would not want no one needs to see that. It's just, I mean, no one's going to look good doing just a random fitness. But it was really, and I think because of the business and what I do, there's some things that I like to keep private. So I do get it that people would be like, do you know what, I don't, and the wedding's not about them. They might not want to know, not know by association, but also it's then, people will then message them, like randomly people have messaged you. So seeing that other side, I can see why people would.
I can see now. And also I think a lot of it is people have children and babies in their rooms. So that's a lot of it, which I do understand. Yeah.
And I think that's what, I think if you think back and then looking at the pictures and reels that have been shared, it's almost like there are no children there. Mm-hmm. But there obviously were children there. So it's that, I don't know. I completely get it on one hand. I do find it weird that people have messaged you.
I know, they're just bonkers. Yeah, it's mad. Yeah. No, I was like, oh God, yeah.
Yeah, all of a sudden we're BFFs and I'm stuck to a side. Like, didn't we share that? So, but yeah. But how has it affected your business? So now obviously the cat's out of the bag, shall we say. So aftermath of like the photos are coming out, the videos are coming out. How's that affected your business?
I don't know yet. I think it's too early to say because we're only 2 weeks on.
Yeah.
I think it's improved my confidence.
Yeah.
In terms of like the wedding I had afterwards. I went in there so confident, like more confident than I normally am. Like you go into the bridal suite with the bouquet and you always think, oh, what if she hates it?
Yeah.
Whereas I was like, well, I've done what I've asked and like I like it. Hopefully she likes it. Yeah. Like I was a lot more confident than I've ever been. We were a little bit early. So I went in and just said, so we're a little bit early. Like, is it okay if we bring, like I just felt different.
Yeah.
And I would definitely take that scale on again. Yeah. Definitely. It's different because I've been running a team as well. I think that's probably the biggest learning. Yeah. Not that it's been difficult.
So are you, where you said like the planning and your management is on that side of things done, like leading up to the wedding, that's sure that we say 9 months, but obviously normally it's a bit longer. But so when the team are doing it, so are you just basically people managing or people and flower managing?
Yeah. So on the rota, I didn't put myself down to make anything.
Yeah.
Because it's too hard. You cannot have a bouquet in your hand while your client's calling you. Yeah. And like what's happened recently is like the suppliers will call me because they want me to pay their invoice like there and then. And I'm like, hang on a minute, I'm holding a bridal bouquet.
Yeah.
So things are getting a bit difficult now.
Yeah.
Where I'm juggling too many things. So yeah, I didn't put myself down to make anything, but I can just hop in and do any job I want to do. I obviously did make things, but it was more getting everyone started on a job. So there was a lot of a lot of everything. So helping them make the first one, getting that
Yeah.
right, and then please just carry on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then like Sam and I were hopping in and helping people as and where they needed it.
Yeah.
So like Isabel, bless her, had 40 meadows to green up on the Thursday. Rosie and Gunda had finished the bowls before Isabel was done, so I think Gunda hopped on and helped. And it's a joint thing.
Yeah.
Just to make sure everything gets done, really.
Yeah. Well, it's just a massive teamwork effect, isn't it? It's just everyone like working together to.
Yeah, because if I'm making something, I can't keep an eye on what someone else is making. If I need to check it's matching the brief and what they've asked. And also with this kind of wedding, like my phone is just going off constantly.
Yeah.
Because you've got 30, 40 suppliers, you've got the venue, you've got the clients. So you need to be available to them. So.
And was there on the day when everything was going on, was it smooth? Were they happy with everything? Did they just step back and enjoy the day and then you just
so Millie came down to see the ceremony while we were doing it. And she was happy. There was conversations in the marquee about some marquee things, so I was with all the suppliers then to sort that out. And then they obviously then go and get the hair and makeup done and stuff, so then you don't really see them. But then Millie wanted me to help them with the buttonhole, so then I saw the family just before they left and was helping with that. But then you have to make yourself scarce because you're not a guest. So it's hard to say. But then we went back at 4:30 to move the meadows to the dance floor. That was part of the plan. And they weren't ready because they wanted to use them for the photos. So I knew they liked them. And all the photos have been in front of that.
I was going to say,
Which has been really nice because when people choose to collab on Instagram, you can only collab with 5 people.
Oh, really?
So it's really hard because every time I've posted, I'm like, well, who do I collab with? Like, I have to do the photographer, I want to do the wedding planner, and like certain people will accept, certain people won't. So you've got to choose the right 5. But what's good about the flowers is they're everywhere.
Yeah.
So when people are posting, they're like, well, I've got to tag a florist, because it's such a big part of all the photos. So yeah, that's nice because you don't always get that photo opportunity with the flowers because often people will think of tables and bouquets, but they won't think of having such a statement piece.
And like you say now, if you've got her image of the bride and groom holding her bouquet, it's like you say, it's going to be the photographer, the dress, the venue, and then you've only got 2 left. So how is it?
I know, it is really hard. Yeah, you have to do the photographer. But yeah, it's choosing between them. Like I've been trying to choose like who's in it most, like if it's of the tables, tag like the tablescaping and the furniture. But it is hard only having 5. Obviously you tag them all below anyway, like that's just common courtesy. But yeah, actually who you collab with is a big decision because you're going out to their audience as well.
And have you been able to network with those suppliers? Have you built up relationships with each of them?
Because we were on site with them, and actually that was good about me not making because I needed to do that. So yeah, like the venue were great, and I was chatting to them on the Sunday when I picked up the vases and whatnot. And yeah, so they mostly like travel more. I think I was the only local supplier, only sort of Suffolk based. A lot of the others were either like flown in or drove quite a way from like either London or up the Cotswolds. The videographer was from Dorset, so he'd come a long way.
Oh wow.
But it was nice being on site with them. But I had been chatting to them prior as well. Most of them.
So you'd already built up that relationship anyway. And I think that's the nice thing about weddings, because people get used to like, oh, Sophie's really easy to work with, or she's planned, she's prepared, because a wedding like that isn't going to go well if you haven't done all that effort and that planning. And that's
why I went into it quite confident. Like with Wedhead, who do the furniture, on the Sunday we'd arranged to do this sort of farmers market vibe, and I said to Millie, I've got the buckets, I basically just need a stand. And she'd bought these stands and they weren't I thought my buckets were better. So anyway, I said I think actually I actually think I've got a better plan, because the whole idea is just get that overall look right. So we were like, let's scrap those stands and let's go with like a table and whatnot. It was really hot, and they were like, we've got 2 spare parasols, so lend us them. And that like saved the flowers really, just by them being kind and lending them to us. They could have just shoved them in the back of their van and not told us. But they were so good, and they're used to doing like large scale all the time. You can tell because they're like so chilled on site. But it's like a huge site, so you're just running around everywhere. At one point I lost my shoes. So I went into the marquee, and it's carpeted, so you take your shoes off. And then I was setting up the drinks area, which was all on shingle, and I had no shoes, and it was just driving me mad. Like, that was the most stressful point of the whole thing. So I'm going, where are my shoes? And then on the group chat was actually really handy. Because we were all over the place. So you could just say like, oh, someone's at the shop, can you just grab some bin bags, or just those little things. And then Rosie was like, we've got your shoes in the marquee, and you're like, what part of the marquee?
Which end?
That was probably the most stressful part, because I had so much to do, and I was just trying to run on these stones with flowers, and it was just so painful.
You don't need that.
But we put flowers in the nightclub as well. That was fun.
Oh, amazing. Were you able to take pictures, or could you not take?
So we all took photos on our own phones, so we had, I think, 8 devices between us. And we obviously didn't take any of anyone. It was just of our work, what we were doing. And I say to the freelancers, you're welcome to take photos of what you're doing. Of course, you're going to want to show people how to do that. That's fine. But there is rules on what they can share. So they can't put anything on their own grid.
Oh, okay.
Because it will automatically look like their work, and that's not on. They can share it to their stories, but they have to put they were freelancing for me, and it has to be nice and clear. They're all happy with that. So they were just so grateful for the opportunity and excited. They were buzzing. It was great. We had a really good team, actually. We had a laugh. And you need a good team, because you can't have an atmosphere on site.
No.
So you need everyone to be getting on. And you don't know, because only 2 of them have worked with me before.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So 3 were brand new. I knew, I'd been chatting to them. I knew of them. But you don't know how that's going to go.
No.
Like 2 people were showing a twin room that I hadn't met before.
But actually, because you're so busy as well, there's not really time to have that element of things.
What was nice is they knew how important it was to me, and they worked really hard for me, and all within the hope that I get them all like that, and I'll have them again, which I will.
Exactly.
I hope to get big ones in on it, and I would definitely ask them again. So that's the aim, really, going forward.
So is that the plan then, to then aim for bigger weddings?
Definitely.
Anywhere in the world, or UK, or what's your...
I'd consider worldwide. Definitely.
And that wouldn't faze you, being abroad looking for...
As long as we can get
blue hydrangeas.
as long as we can get good supply there. Whether it's the current supplier that I use can deliver there, or whether we find someone else out there. As long as you've got a good supplier, then... there's no reason we couldn't do it. The weather we were working in is similar to what you get abroad.
And have you stayed in contact with the other suppliers? So in the hope they'll recommend and say...
So we've all spoken since.
Amazing.
And a lot's going out online now, and people are sharing a message out.
And have you had any thank yous or anything from Paige and Millie, or?
So so they have said thank you, and like I went to pick up the vases and whatnot, and Paige was still there, and she said thank you, and then I've been in touch with her with like what she had in her designs and whatnot. So I do all of that. So I have spoken to her.
And everyone's happy.
I think, how can you not like that arch?
That arch. I think there was a video of everyone. There was 2 or 3 people
doing it
at the same time.
Everyone was like, "Where were you?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I was just
running around doing everything else."
And the East Anglian, they asked for a picture of me, and like all the pictures of me are terrible because it was so windy and so hot, and I'm like, "Oh God, I can't find one." But so. They asked me for an article, but so I just put a few words together.
Nice. Have you sent it off to anyone else?
What, other than the East Anglian? No. Should I?
You could do. Yeah.
Oh God, I'm not good at that kind of thing.
So you don't know if they're going to be in any magazines or anything, or they had any agreement, or?
No. Normally, I think if it's with a magazine like OK, I think that you would know from the beginning. I don't think it was that kind of wedding, to be honest. It would more be if the photos got picked up by someone and asked the photographer, but that would all be done through her.
Yeah.
And then I'd probably find out, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Because it did look like something out of a magazine. So
Yeah. I was going to say, and I think,
did.
to be honest with you, they don't seem like the magazine people, if you know what I mean. There's a, I don't know, certain celebrity, but yeah. So what's next?
I'm working a lot waiting for 26, so I need to go and do a site visit in a minute.
Yeah.
So yeah, see what 26 brings. September's normally inquiry time.
Yeah.
So yeah, just get ready and get prepared, I think.
Yeah.
For what comes. We're ready to do big ones. We've got all the equipment, we've got the staff, we know how to do it now. So yeah, hopefully just more of them.
Yeah. Amazing.